All right, so I wanted to talk about the Saturn and Neptune transit in my sixth house. So if you're a rising Scorpio, Saturn and Neptune should be in your sixth house too. But I wanted to talk about it because I really had to listen to a few videos because Neptune makes the information kind of vague. Like when astrologers are like giving you a reading on the transit, a lot of them say this could be confusing around what you want to do, your schedules, and just needing to have boundaries or a schedule, because it'll make you not want to work or make you lazy. What else? But that's what I had been hearing. But the best one by far that I heard, the best interpretation was by this YouTube channel called Rising Sign Astrology, and he broke it down very well. Basically saying that because Saturn is there with Neptune in the sixth house, it helps you ground that Neptune energy, which makes a lot of sense for me. And if you're someone who already knows, like you probably have already went through your Saturn return, and you have a good grasp on your identity and your life purpose and your path, this transit won't, I don't feel like, and it's just really getting started. We got 2 years of this transit, and it started back in May. But I feel like if you have a good understanding of who you are and what your purpose is in life, this transit will only inspire you and help you get shit done. Because I have been so inspired, like it consumes me all fucking day, and even at work. And luckily I have a job that's it's kind of repetitive, and I'm just sitting, I'm not talking on the phone with nobody. I have actually the perfect job to go through this this transit, because it doesn't really call a lot from me mentally or physically. It doesn't, so my mind is free to roam, and I'm not micromanaged. So I can kind of edit a video real quick. I can edit a picture real quick while I'm doing what I do, but I don't let it consume me at work to where I'm not getting my work done. I'm busy on my side projects, and I'm not getting my work done, so that is going to be the toughest balance. But with this aspect is separating that, for me anyways, that practical work with your passion project, with your soul mission, or what you just feel connected to or feel aligned with. And it might not be your everyday job. And this is a common theme in my life, because I'm a North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo, and both of those aspects are kind of close to my sun and moon. It's like it's a conjunction. So I already have this dance in my life, this spiritual versus real life dance with each other, and it was very hard when I was younger, because I would be in these jobs that I did not like and were never aligned to me. I've hated all the jobs I've ever had. It just never was what my soul was calling for. Like, I always felt it was lacking, until there was like this nodal shift. But anyways, yes, it was a nodal shift, and but I'm not gonna talk too much about that. But around 2014, I found out that I really loved tarot. When you hear people say, what is the thing that you would do for free? And it was tarot. Like, I started with the oracle cards, and then I've got my first tarot deck was the African American deck. And that was kind of hard to learn with. So I backtracked and got the Rider-Waite deck. And so I learned with that deck. Yeah, but anyways, this is how I feel like, I just ran back in here. This is how I feel this transit is working out for me, is finding that balance to create content, to create my passion projects, or to help me turn my passion into something lucrative. I've gotten into, now I used to write a lot when I was a kid, or I gotten awards for writing as a kid, and so now I've gotten back into short stories, and with short stories with tarot, and it's just been like fun. It's not really nothing I'm putting pressure on to do, like to create. Like, it's just fun to do. Everything I'm doing I'm doing because I just enjoy it, and I'm not really stressing about making my videos perfect. I'm not stressing about looking perfect or keeping a certain schedule. Now my weekly readings, I try my very best to stay consistent with my weekly readings. Like, if all else fails, y'all will get at least one video a week. Now the other ones, maybe, but for sure you will get your weekly forecast. And I feel like that's Saturn coming through with the consistency, helping me be more consistent. And another thing they were saying, because the 6th house is routines and your body and mind, and and just like Saturn and Neptune together is trying to integrate that. Is I'm going to take a Pilates class, which is like yoga, and I really like the way Pilates seems to sculpt the body, and I like yoga with the stretching. Like, it just feels good, Yeah, weight training is cool, but I'm gonna try the Pilates as a form of exercise mainly, along with cardio and eating better. So I also heard that Saturn in your 6th house, you will create like health routines that will stick for you forever, stick to you, that you'll stick with forever. So that's how I see it playing out. To me, when I was like listening to videos about it, it could get real vague sounding when Neptune gets thrown in there, and there's different interpretations of both of those in that 6th house. But I feel like if you know who you are and you know your life purpose, this is going to be a bomb time for you to get focused on your stuff, on your path, on who you are, and just really going in and perfecting your craft and getting consistent and on schedule about your work. And like, you'll have like the energy and the motivation to be consistent, like more than any other time. I've been doing this since 2014. I've been on TikTok off and on for the past couple years. TikTok's kind of new. I started out on YouTube back in 2014. And so I've picked up tarot and I put it down, and it's that's the one thing that keeps coming back is tarot, divination. It keeps evolving into more things, into more of a realization, and between tarot and astrology, I really figured out what my path is and what I'm called to do. Because in astrology, I've seen there's certain patterns that comes up in my chart like a few times, and so like, yeah, that's That's what I'm supposed to do. And now it's lining up. Like, I used to hear about being a creative person a lot at one point. And I'd be like, I'm not an artist. I don't sing. I wasn't creating anything at that time, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But now, since I make oracle decks, and that came about in 2020, it's like, oh, that's where the creativity is coming out. And then the now the writing. I'm like, so sometimes you just gotta live. You gotta live for your chart to come alive. So that is where it's coming from. And then I have a lit up third house, which is about communication, writing, motivational speaking, and teaching and stuff like that, and being in your community. And so I see how that's playing out with my writing, and my fifth house with my North Node in Pisces, and my fifth house, that's the oracle cards that I'm creating, my art form. And so everything's making sense, and I understand where I'm going and who I am. So I look forward to this Neptune and Saturn being in my sixth house. And hopefully that kind of helps somebody else understand what this transit is going to be about. And if you need help figuring out what your path in life is, inbox me here or on YouTube. There's ways to get to me. I think my email is on there. Or you can comment below. But I understand being confused about your path and really wanting to know what it is that's going to make you light up, especially if you're like in a regular job and it's just not fulfilling, so I definitely been there. So I don't mind helping someone either be with tarot, we'll look at some cards, or I'll look at your chart if you got your birth time, or we can kind of figure out exactly what area you're supposed to be looking at to find your path, or what direction you should go in. And I think that's it. But definitely, even if you don't know your path and who you are and all of that, it's going to send you, I feel like it's going to send you on a search. It's going to make you uncomfortable with where you are in life and with your current job, to where you're going to look for, what are you meant here? What are you meant to do? And then by the end of these 2 years, you might know exactly what you're called to do or what your passion is. So that's all I have. Also, I joined Substack, and I started a podcast on Substack with my short stories. So you can check that out on Substack, and you can find that on my link tree. And I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.